So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is a tutorial series for absolute beginners in Unreal Engine 5, and this is video 20, no, it is 30. And in this video we continue where we stopped with weapons, and we want code a little bit automatically switch. And we left here at this point, and let's see what we reached so far. When I play here, I have already one weapon in my hand, a stone on my background. This was just a fun fact. And we want now that when I press one button that I can switch these weapons, for example, right? Or I press more buttons, depends on how we solve that. All right, there are many different solutions, some good, some bad, but we don't care. We just find one solution and we take the best solution we know right now. And I start now with the more complicated. It looks more complicated, but it's not. It's just more or less a copy of one line in 3 lines and use the same technique. Yeah, over and over again. And this solution which you see here, we can, let me make this a little bit lower, we can reduce to one line when we use an array. But I show you both, and yes, I show you both because they are both okay. So let's get rid of this one. We created so far almost this one. We created that one already. And this one, let me bring this one just here because we don't need that right now. And the only thing what we have not here is the other side, because here I have made it all for both hands. And if you want to set it now for the other hand, it's very easy. You make the same like here. You call again a custom event like here, and perhaps you rename this one here to F2 spawn weapon. Can I? Nope. What's going on? Okay, spawn weapon on the left hand, and this one compile again. And now you make again a custom event. Let's see, let me show you this custom event. You find custom event again, custom event, add custom event, and this time you just call it spawn weapon on right hand. And the only thing what you will do later is just the same thing what you did here, and create here a spawn actor, create probably here a new variable, and the same thing what I did here in the video before, right? And here the socket on the right hand. And if you watch this one, it's really the same. The only thing what changes is this node what you have here, the custom node. And this one you have then call here for the second hand. Then you spawn weapon, and this time you are spawning it for the on the right hand. Right now it will spawn nothing when I compile save this because we have no code here, but you get the idea, right? And this one was this one. It looks so complicated here. I already tested this out, and we continue now. So let's see, this one can stay there. This one I did not, but you know how to know it, how to do it. And let's continue with this one. I want now, I have already one weapon. Now I want spawn other weapons in my hand. For example, I press a button and I want now another big axe or a blade or something other. So how we are going to do this? Actually, very similar what we did before, and to do so we start with creating again blueprint actors, because we will need again that what we created here, blueprint actors with weapons. And let's do this fast. It's very easy. You go in your game folder, you go into weapons, in blueprints, and there is an easy way. We created this weapon, BP weapon X2, right? You just duplicate this one, right click, duplicate, X3, right click, duplicate. Now I have here 2 more. And the only thing what we are going to do is you rename this a better name, not a bad name like me. And then you open this one up, go to the skeletal mesh. Here is already selected the old one, but this one you are going to change to the new one which you want. Let's select just this one, for example. Then you just compile and save this one. The same you do with the next one. Open this one up, rename it to a better name, what you want. And then again, go to the skeletal mesh. Of course, you can rename this one too and so. And here you change again this one to another thing. Let's see what I found has something different. What is that? Let's see what this one is. Compile, save. And now, after we have this one, let me see, is this one is the best. Okay. And now, after we have this one, we can close those. We don't need this. We don't need this. And the other ones we still need. What is that? With this one, we don't need as well. So, and we continue with our blueprint code in our character, within our event graph. We continue. We created now this actors, this blueprint actors, which we created also here on top, right? And now we find a way to call them. So we have to find a way how we can call them, and they should switch, right? That is our goal. When I call them, it should switch. But how? And one way is you can assign it on a key press. For example, you press right click and find on your keyboard a key which you like. Let's say the number, or let's say not a number, must be not a number. Let's say I want to use the E key. I write E and then keyboard. It jumps most time there. And if not, then you see it in keyboard advanced perhaps, and then you scroll down to E, for example. Here's my E key. And then this E key note pops up. After it pops up, we can use that when we press on E. It says here, if I press, this will be activated. And this one needs not to be called. This one will be activated when you press on keyboard the E key later in game. That's nice. That we want. And let's continue. So the next thing is this flip-flop we can ignore. This is just a variation. I can show you this later. Then what we are going to is what is here. Current weapon actor. So we get the current weapon actor, which is, did we define the current weapon actor? Yes, we defined this already. So we have defined in our first place the current weapon actor. And the current weapon actor we get because it should just get what it's assigned at the start. And when we switch it, we want switch now the weapon, we have to get rid of this actor, right? We have to get rid of this weapon which we have in our hand. And to do this, we use the node destroy actor. This works all time, but there are other ways. Not destroy actor, there's also a way to detach from component and so on. But this one is the easiest way. Perhaps not the best way, but the easiest way definitely, because the actor is definitely gone. But we have here assign which actor we want destroy, and we want destroy the weapon which we hold in our hand. And which is this? It's the current weapon actor. And here again a get, and we can connect this one. So what happens now is when I compile and start and play this, I have a weapon in my hand. You can see it. If I press now E, it is destroyed. That's it. That's this code here does this. No more, no less. So now we want one step further. After we've destroyed this one, we want that it's not only destroying the weapon, it should go to the next weapon. And how we can make this? Actually, here we have a problem, but not really a problem. It is just if we press here E, it is not very descriptive, so it is not assigned what is this weapon actually. And for example, if you have numbers like 1, 2, 3, and you know 1 is this X, 2 is this blade, and 3 is whatever, makes more sense, then you know exactly which one is that. But on E, What is that? It works also if you have a user interface where it says something. So, but we will see. Let's continue and we will see if this works or not. And if it works, good. If it's not, not. Then what we are going to do now is we destroyed our actor. We want now add a new X. But how we add this X, and here is the way we have a current weapon. Have we defined already a current weapon here? Yes, the current weapon. But let me see, current weapon actor. Oh, did I make there a mistake? Current weapon. I made here a mistake. Sorry, I made here a mistake, I think. No, I didn't. Current weapon class. We have not defined the current weapon class, right? That's very important. Let me see. We have not defined this now. Have we defined this before? I want to only see, because I made this all beforehand and defined there already all the variables, and not that I irritate you now, but okay, whatever, let's create this. So we need the current weapon. We create a new variable. And how we do this is we can create with a plus, for example. You press here the plus and write current weapon actor 2, because it's my second. You name it right. Why is this not working? Primary current weapon. Again, right again. Current weapon actor 2 is already used. Okay, let's make 3. Oh, wait a second. When it's used, I have defined it already. Yeah, current weapon, I'm blind. There was defined on top. Let's delete this. Yeah, that's, yeah. When I'm blind, then this happens. Okay, we had it already. So we get this current weapon actor 2 and drag it here in and use a get. And this one is actually, like it says, our current actor, and here in default values on the side details panel, we have assigned this current actor in it. We have this probably not. If you don't have, find it and assign what you want there. Then we go back and we set the current weapon. That's not really true. I have to set it. Oh no, that was the setter. Sorry, that was again not the getter. We have to use the setter. So we press here, my fault, set the current weapon, because we destroyed the weapon which we have in our hand, and now we have to set the next weapon. And now we have this one, but we have not set this here because this is setting manually. This one we don't want, and that's why we have to promote this one to a variable. Let's do this one and change the variable name to here on the right side. Let's say X. Call it the weapon which you want. I call it now X1, so I know this is my first weapon. And then I set current weapon actor. I have now set the current weapon actor. This one I have defined. Current weapon actor. Yes, I have defined the current weapon actor here. Okay, then find the variable current weapon actor, which is this one, and set it. Have we set to this one? Yes, we set this one as well. And the current weapon actor will be set to this. Is this true? That current actor probably. Yes, I'm not sure. He has no input. I'm not sure if this is true. And then what we are going to do is the last thing is just spawn this one. And how we make this, we call our custom event spawn. What we called it, we have to read our name, what we called it. And let's get rid of this one here fast. This is later. Here, spawn weapon on left hand. Spawn weapon on left hand. So, and this was a little bit mishy-mashy. I explained this perhaps one more time fast. Again, what I did and why I did. So let's test this before I explain anything. So we have this one. I press E and indeed it changed. So this one works, but let's check that one works not. Playing the this one is okay. All right. Attempt to access BP clear. Well, yes, later. This one is okay. This one is something I will check in a moment. Right now, I'm recording, not now. So let's continue. Current weapon actor, destroy. We destroyed. Then we get the X, but here, important, we have nothing assigned to it. So we have here a problem, and that's why probably I had this error. And then I have to assign this one. And let's see what I have assigned here. Yes, a default value. So I have to assign here a default value. And in this case, I have not assigned a default value. Let's assign here a default value. Find your weapon number 1. In our case, our default values are we have here created these 3 actors. One is this, second is this one, and third is this one. And they are different, so you have set one of them as a default for every input. So let's start with this one. This is weapon X2. I set it here and search it, weapon X2, for example. Now I compile, save, and this one will do this one. I think this one should make it without errors now. And when I press E, still errors, I think. Yes, because it's another error. Later I check this, not right now. Dismiss because I just missed something. Let's continue. So we have this one done. And what I have to do now is, this was setting the first, right? So, and let's see what I've set, not current actor. Did I set all? I think left hand, spawn weapon on left hand, spawn let's see here, double click on this one. Now I see the error. It's spawning the wrong one. I have called the wrong event, because when I click on this one, this here, it spawns this one, and that was what I created before for test purposes. And I need to spawn actually this one here, because this one was made for this code here, which we made together. So let's do this one, spawn weapon on left hand. So let's delete this one and call this right, spawn weapon on left hand, right? This was it. Yes, this time it's right. When you double click it, it will jump to this node. Let's compile the save it again and see if we have, I have still the error probably, but now it works. No, I have not the error. That was the error. Okay, good. Let's continue. Sorry for that. I make this on the fly and it's not prepared. It's okay. I hope you can still follow. So what we did, it was a little bit messy. That's why I repeat this one again. We created this E key, right? When we press it, we want to switch our weapon. Then we start with destroying the weapon, which we have actually in our hand. Wait, let me go here. So right now at start, we have a default weapon in our hand. When I press the E key, I want destroy it. It destroys. But after that, I want that this weapon is not only destroyed, it is replaced by another weapon at the same time. And how I do this, I get the X variable, which we created here. And in this variable, we saved another X here and set this to the current weapon, which means this variable we will use later. I show you in a moment where. And then set this one. I don't know why we set this one actually. Let me check something. I'm irritated why I'm using this one actually. Because normally I have set this but never used it. So yes, I have just watched also something online and this one is irritating. Don't use it right now. Even so they used it, but it makes no sense just to have this one without connection here. So let's make here a question mark. Let's continue. And then this one will call this top, and you see this current weapon, which we have set here. This one is the setter. The current weapon is the setter here. Will spawn this new X for us, and then it will set the current weapon actor to 2, because here is the setter. This one is actually not useful. And then this one will also again attach all the things and yes, to our mesh, to our character, to our socket, and then we have this. But here the last thing what I want to do is, before I continue, is let's go here down a little bit and let's assign another key, but this time we make it fast. Let's find, for example, Q, Q key. Okay, I found on my keyboard the Q key node, and this time to make it a little bit fast, I just copy all that what I have here. I just copy that, Control C, Control V. I add it here, and I just change one thing. Current actor should stay. It destroys the current actor in my hand. Good. The next thing, the X2, the current weapon, the new X or a blade or whatever should be something new. That means I can't use this one because in this one I saved this actor. So we have to create here a new variable. Let's delete this one. Let's promote this one again to a variable, or promoting to a variable means is the same as if you click here plus. You can click here plus, make a variable and assign it directly, or you click here right click, promote a variable means it will create for you a variable. So these are both the same. Let's call this X2. And very important here, I have set this to an array. Don't use an array here. That was before we use single here. And compile this one, so it takes this one, and then we have set here again the default value, and in this variable I want my second X. Let's find this class. Where is it? In weapons, in my blueprints, and here's the blueprint which I created. Let's take this funny thing here and assign this one here, and if you select this one and click here the back arrow, you don't need to write the name. This is old-timer shortcut. And now we can drag and drop it here and say get. Here is another way what you can do. If you know where you want plug in, you can just take this drag and drop directly to the point instead of get here and then use a plug in. So here I know I want put it here in. So I drag it directly in. Perfect. Compile, save, and that's it. Actually, I can already switch. So that was a little bit faster than the first explanation. And let's see. I press now E. This is my E key. Oh, let's make this one away for a moment. Let's make again. So I press now E, and now I press Q. And yes, it worked. And I press again E, it's back, and Q. Now I can already switch. And you get the idea. Now I have a strange thing in my hand. It's a hammer. What is that? No, whatever. Cool. And the thing is, you can now add here many more weapons. But you see, there is one problem. When we do this, it works for, let's say, for 1-2 keys where you can press, select, and use often. But when we play games, we use around 5 keys or 7 keys for skills or so, or for attacks or for switch. And there is another way around, and this way around I show you in the next video, because this one is again too long. So see you in the next. Bye.